All right, now we're going to be looking at solving absolute value inequalities and then graphing them. And if we remember from what we learned about absolute value equations, it's important the way that you read the equation. So the one in front of us says the distance from x to negative 5, and again remember that when you see an addition sign, distance is always shown with subtraction, so what you have is a double negative sign. Watch those addition signs in your absolute value equations and inequalities. So the distance from x to negative 5 is less than 3. So my target number that goes in the middle of my graph is going to be negative 5. Okay, and we know that the distance between x and negative 5 is less than 3. So my other points are 3 units away. And since it is a less than sign, we remember from graphing inequalities that means it does not include the 2 points because it is less than those points, not less than or equal to. So we have open circles over negative 8 and negative 2 and a line connecting the 2 points. Okay, remember, since the distance is less than 3, it can't be any further away than 3. Okay, and to write our solution, we can write it in set notation, and that is negative 8 is less than x, which is less than negative 2. We could write it with 2 and have an and in it. It could be negative 8 is less than x and x is less than negative 2. Okay? And this just means all of the points that are less than 3 units away from negative 5. And that's how you have to read those. You have to be very careful with that. Let's do another one. Okay, here we have the distance from y to 4 is greater than or equal to 4. So to graph this, I'm going to draw my number line. And I know that my target value is going to be 4, so that goes in the middle of my number line. And it has to be greater than or equal to 4 units away from 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's greater than or equal to, I have to make a closed circle. Okay. And another closed circle over 0. And since this is greater than 4 units away from 4, my arrows are going to be pointing out. And we have an or. To write my solution, I write y is less than or equal to 0, or y is greater than or equal to 8. Okay? And you just have to remember all of the rules that we learned from graphing inequalities. And then remember that your target number is the number inside the absolute value sign, and the distance away from that target is the number outside your absolute value sign.